welcome to Oak Grove Media and Film. For today's video, we're going to be having a look at a close analysis of the You Were Meant For Me sequence from Singin' in the Rain. This is suitable for anybody who is studying Singing in the Rain, either at GCSE level or A level. So this sequence is key in the narrative, as it is the moment where Don has finally found Kathy, and we get this sort of declaration of love. It is ultra romantic. It is very kind of sort of stylized. It's very much like an MGM musical in the way that this declaration of love happens, because it happens through a song and dance routine that, as I say, is very kind of overly romanticized. So we're going to have a look at how the micro elements contribute to creating meaning and building the relationship between Don, who is played by Gene Kelly, and Kathy, who is played by Debbie Reynolds. So the sequence opens with this wide shot of the empty soundstage, really sort of establishing this idea that everything is artificial in Hollywood. We can see kind of the behind the scenes here, just a plain old soundstage, concrete floors, wooden walls. You can see equipment covered up. It's very sort of like non-romantic at this moment. And in this space, we can see, down here, Don and Kathy entering, and he is leading the way. We can see him, he's taking her hand and he's kind of bringing her into this space. So you get the sense of a status here. He is in control. He's kind of bringing her into his world. This is where he feels most comfortable and where he feels that he can truly express his feelings as somebody who has grown up as a performer. So we cut to this low angle shot here. Their hands are intertwined. He's smiling at her. So you're already getting this sort of sense of this relationship sort of becoming a lot more intimate and a lot closer.
Why, it's just an empty stage.
At first glance, yes. But wait a second. A beautiful sunset. Mist from the distant mountains. Colored lights in a garden.
So Don goes about here turning on all of the artificial equipment, to give the illusion of this romantic setting, this sunset in a garden, wind or mist sort of blowing through the scene. So it's a little bit of a nod or a wink to the audience to remind us of one of the key themes of the film, which is to do with this Hollywood artifice. Like, nothing is real, everything is a facade, and nothing can really ever truly be trusted. But he is sort of openly showing all the tricks of the trade to her here, and he has pretty much said to her, I want to give myself the proper setting so I can tell you how I feel. So there's a realness to that, but he doesn't feel comfortable without all of these sort of props and visual aids to really kind of sell his feelings.
A lady is standing on her balcony in a rose trellis.
The imagery that we get as well through the shot choices, the framing, cinematography especially here, really helps to create this hyper romantic atmosphere. So we've got Kathy's been placed up on the ladder. He's used the word balcony. So it's reminiscent of Romeo and Juliet, which is obviously one of the ultimate sort of romances. But the backlighting as well, like, it creates kind of a silhouette effect. She's looking down at him. He's looking up at her. It really does help to sort of like create this very romantic moment, and it sets us up for what's about to be quite a romantic song in the film.
Flooded with moonlight. We add 500,000 kilowatts of stardust.
So there's non-diegetic music being used as well to kind of punctuate and accentuate the things that he's doing. So as he turns the lights on, you get these little sort of flute flourishes that accompany those moments, that each turn of the switch, and it creates this really magical atmosphere, not just through the sound here, but it's working together with the visuals. We've got this really lovely color palette being produced by the lighting and elements of the mise en scène as well. These pinks and purples, which we obviously associate with love and romance. Kathy's dress is also a pastely purple as well, so it's all sort of feeding into this romantic imagery that's being created.
And you sure look lovely in the moonlight, Kathy.
So here we've got nice use of 3-point lighting to really give us our very beautiful, romantic figure. We can see, or we're sort of almost seeing her through the eyes of Don in this shot. We can sort of see what he likes about her. There's a really nice sort of soft focus that's been used, which is very, very flattering. The position of the camera, which is at a slightly low angle, is also very flattering, but also, as I say, gives us a sense of looking up to her in the way that Don is currently sort of looking up to her, idolizing her. But the 3-point lighting, so the sort of backlight, the sort of key light that's hitting her here, and then we've got our fill light, it creates kind of like a very flattering profile for her. We get the sort of the shadow down here, so it sort of cuts the jawline, and you get this nice sort of illumination on this side of the face here. It looks almost kind of angelic in what she looks like. And if you think about her in comparison to Lena, she has got naturally blonde hair, not the sort of fake platinum blonde hair that Lena has, and she is wearing a lot less makeup as well than Lena wears. So it really gives a sense of a natural beauty as a counterpoint to the facade, the fakeness of somebody like Lena.
Now that you have the proper setting, can you say it?
I'll try. Life was a song, you came along. I've laid awake the whole night through. If I but dared to think you cared, this is what I'd say to you. You were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Nature patterned you.
Okay, so let's just pause there. So we now are in the, very much the world of a musical. This is, we would consider this diegetic sound. Even the orchestra, even though there is no orchestra there, we would call it diegetic sound because we're accepting the reality that people are suddenly singing to one another, and they can obviously sort of hear a backing track. So Gene Kelly is not exactly the greatest singer. That's not really what he was well known for, as being a particularly powerful singer. But he really does sell this romance, this love that he has for Kathy in his performance style. So we've got him pretty much never breaking gaze here. He is constantly kind of looking into Debbie Reynolds' face, moving towards her slowly, and then you've got this very sort of romantic song being sung, literally to her as he approaches her, and we've got this sort of really delicate and beautiful full orchestra behind him as well, so really creating this very romantic atmosphere.
When she was done, you were all the
Camera as well, like you can talk about cinematography and how smooth this movement is. very sort of typical for MGM musicals to have the camera traversing, moving around to follow the action, and very few cuts as well. We have these long takes, which are typical of MGM musicals.
The angels must have sent you, and they meant you just for me.
Okay, so we're about to go into the dance routine for this sequence. So I mentioned that Gene Kelly wasn't exactly known for his singing. What he really was known for was his dancing. He is an exceptionally gifted dancer and a gifted choreographer as well. So he was co-director of this film and he choreographed the film as well. So everything that we're sort of seeing in terms of his movement and what Debbie Reynolds is doing as well has been choreographed by him, and it really does scream romance. Sort of slow, either mirrored or complementary movement that happens. So it's this real kind of partnership that's developing. I really like these little intimate moments, very sort of like quiet, close. And then we kind of get these sort of slightly grander moments where we've got the sort of crane shot moving in, flowing with them, creating this real kind of smooth, fluid movement. Everything looks, perfect. This is kind of a utopian world that we're in here. Smiling faces, body language, sort of lifted, chests up to the sky, light on their feet. And the song's called You Were Made For Me, or You Were Meant For Me, sorry. And we kind of get that sense by the fact that they know and they can anticipate one another's movements in the dance routine.
But I'm content. The angels must have sent you.
And just to finish off the song, we're now kind of in a switch up of the positions. So Kathy is now looking up towards Don. So you get the sense that by the end of this song, she has fallen for him now, because he was the one who was pursuing her. He was the one who was trying to find out where she had gone because he couldn't stop thinking about her. And here, as I say, because of the change in the positioning, which we saw at the beginning of the sequence, you get the sense that he has won her over here. And I quite like this pull out that we get here as well, because it creates this sort of sense of us leaving the scene and leaving them in this very sort of intimate moment before it cuts into the next sequence. Okay, so I hope you found those insights useful. So as ever, you could potentially take some of those ideas, put them into a paragraph of close analysis, then go ahead and have a look at some other sequences of the film and see what you can pick out in terms of micro elements and how they are contributing to the creation of meaning. If you found the video useful, please do give us a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Until next time, bye bye.